This is Mary Lewis at A Tiny Homestead, the podcast comprised entirely of conversations with homesteaders, cottage food producers, and crafters. Today I'm talking with Seth at Rush River Flower Farm. Good morning, Seth. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Tell me all about yourself and about Rush River Flower Farm.
Yeah, so a little bit about me personally. I am currently a senior at Gustavus Adolphus College studying public accounting. Um, I'm from Henderson, Minnesota, and I started Rush River Flower Farm about officially 2 years ago. Um, I started growing flowers just as like a side hobby during COVID because I had a lot of free time. And then I found out that I really love it. So that's why I began to expand and thought I could sell and share my passion with everyone else through farmers markets and just selling flowers for weddings, funerals, things like that.
That's really cool. So, did you know that you were interested in growing flowers before COVID?
Um, I had an interest for like plants before COVID. I always liked house plants and stuff, but uh, flowers, I would say no. I just started watching videos on YouTube, and I thought it was really cool to like start planting some like basic flowers and watch them grow. So yeah,
Okay, so is the land that you're growing on, is that rented or shared or family owned or what?
it's family owned. It's actually at my uncle's, so it's the home place where my dad grew up. My uncle owns it now, and he's so generously let me work some land up to plant my flowers there.
That's fantastic. I love that. So are you growing native to Minnesota plants or are you growing all kinds of stuff?
I do have some native plants. I have a section of wildflowers that are native to Minnesota, but I also grow all different kinds of stuff. I think I have over 20 different, 30 different varieties of flowers that I grow.
Okay,
And
and what are they? I'm curious. I've seen photos
um,
on Facebook, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I have like, let me think. I have dahlias, snapdragons, lysianthus, lots of zinnias, sunflowers, asters, status, just to name a few that
Okay,
I
I
grow.
have I have questions about dahlias because
Yeah.
I tried growing them last summer
Hmm.
and they did okay, but the bugs really love them.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna keep growing them because we have to dig them out here in Minnesota
Hmm.
because they don't winter over.
Yep.
So, when you decided to do dahlias, are you keeping the bulbs? Are you digging them out in the fall and putting them in storage and putting them back in the summer in the spring? Or are you starting over every spring with new bulbs that you order?
Um, Kind of a little bit of both. I did try to dig some last year, but I didn't have the best of luck with storing them. So I'm debating on just treating them as annuals and just starting over each year.
Yeah, I thought about doing that, and that gets extremely spendy if you want
Yeah,
the
it
really
does.
big blooms that are
Hmm.
like dinner plate size. So
Yeah,
we've decided not to do dahlias. If I want dahlias, I will find someone who grows them and
yeah,
buy them. Have you thought about peonies?
yeah. I do have about two or three peony bushes right now, but I just planted them, so it'll be a while before they really get established and I get lots of blooms.
Yeah, there's a real market for peonies.
Hmm.
So I don't know how long you want to do this, but peonies are a really, really nice plant.
Hmm.
After about 5 years of growing them, they just kind of take care of themselves.
Yeah, yeah. I hope to expand my peony patch more because
Mhm.
I love peonies also. They smell so good. So,
Yeah, my favorite is the Sarah Bernhardt because it smells so nice in the house.
yeah.
The
I don't know
baby
if I've
pink
ever,
ones.
okay, I was like, I don't know if I've ever used that one.
Yeah, they're a baby pink. They're a very, very light pink.
I'll have to look into that one.
Yeah, there's another one called Festiva Maximus, I think, and that's a pure white with a little bit of
Oh,
yellow in the middle.
I know I really want to explore the peony world a little bit more to see all the different varieties and
It's an
yeah,
addiction. It's
I know.
terrible. It's terrible. We moved to Lesource 3 years ago, and we formerly lived in Jordan, and
Yeah,
we had a tenth of an acre lot, and I would say probably 15% of that tenth of an acre lot had peonies growing.
oh really?
Yeah,
That's actually really fun.
yeah, we had the Hello Kitty pink, as I call it, and we had the burgundy kind, and we had the baby pink, and we had the
Hmm.
white. And I started out with one plant and fell in love.
Yeah.
So good
When you
luck with your new
thank
addiction.
thank you. When you moved, did you bring any of those with you, or did you leave them there?
We did. We dug as many as we possibly could. We moved in August of 2020 and it was really hot.
Hmm.
So we dug out as many as we could possibly dig and bring and brought them here that fall.
Yeah.
And they did not bloom the first year because I don't know
Hmm.
if you know the saying, but it's sleep, creep, leap for
Yep.
peonies.
Hmm.
And so this spring was great. We had many, many blooms and I
That's
was
good.
so excited to have my babies back.
Yes, I bet.
So are you going to keep doing this? Is
I
this
hope.
is this is this now a passion or is it a hobby?
I think it's a passion. I really enjoy doing it, and I hope to keep doing it in the future. Just right now, I feel like for me, it's hard to find time because I'm so busy with other things that I have going on.
Mhm.
But I hope to make it more of a priority in the future for me.
Mhm. Okay. Well, you have many years left because you're probably
Yes,
what, 22?
21. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So you have so many years ahead of you and so many things that you could possibly do, but I'm really excited for you that you've chosen flowers because
Thank you.
I don't think you can ever get bored with it.
Yeah, I know. I can never get bored of it. I always, whenever I'm looking online to find new flowers, I spend hours looking for seeds and on different videos on YouTube and Instagram. And I really enjoy it. So,
Yeah. Um, so I'm not even sure what to ask because I don't really know a lot about flowers, but this podcast is really about people who either grow things, cook things,
hmm.
practice homesteading skills, I don't know. So I'm guessing that growing flowers falls under the clearly the growing things, but
Hmm.
the homesteading schools too, skills too,
Yeah.
because I am assuming that you are learning about composting and
Hmm.
and, fertilizing and all of that.
Yeah.
Do you try to use natural fertilizers in compost, or does that matter when you're growing flowers?
Yeah. Well, I think for flowers it doesn't really matter, but I try to do all organic because it just makes me feel better, and I think it's better for the environment in general. So, yeah, I haven't done composting a whole lot, but we're starting to develop a compost pile like at the end of the year. It fills up a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'll I think it'll take a while for us to get it established pretty well, but yeah, we are composting some and then hope to use that. But otherwise, we just contact local farmers to get manure and stuff like that.
You're living in the right place.
Yep, yep, yep. It's honestly better than anything you can buy in the store. So,
Yeah, absolutely. We actually are gonna be picking up some goat manure sometime in the next couple of weeks for our huge veggie garden.
hmm, yeah,
So, yeah, my yard's gonna smell really good for about a week, but that's okay. It'll
that's
be
okay.
fine.
Yeah,
Yep. So what kind of reception have you gotten on your bouquets? Because I've seen the photos and they're lovely.
thank you. Yeah, I've had great reception. I had a great community that supports me, and I'm so grateful for everyone that comes out to buy them or just even follows and likes on my Facebook and Instagram page. Yeah, and people I don't even know come up to me and be like, "Oh, your flowers are so pretty," and I was like, "Thank you." It feels really nice to have a community that really supports you and like likes the passion that I have.
Absolutely. My
Yeah.
husband's been working at the farmer's market this year selling our vegetables, and
Hmm.
he apparently got all kinds of compliments on Saturday about the produce that we've sold this year, and
That's good.
he was just glowing when he was telling me
Yes.
about it. So I know
Yes, it's the
exactly what you're
best
talking
feeling
about.
ever.
Yeah. So is your uncle's farm on Rush River? Is that why it's Rush River Flower Farm?
Yeah, so we have like land, like a woods
Mhm.
area that's like behind his property, and the Rush River runs through that.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's not like directly on the land, but it's a little ways back, so that's why how I got the name.
When I saw your name, I thought that your farm was right up from where we live because there's a Rush River farm
Oh, really?
going toward Lusore on Highway 8, and we live just past them.
Hmm.
And then I looked at your Facebook page and I was like, I don't think that's where he lives. So,
No, yeah, yeah. I grow on. It's like less. I grow on less than an acre. There's not a whole lot of land, but I fit as much in as I can.
mhm. I don't know if you do this, but with our garden, we grow up instead of out because we have cucumbers and
Hmm.
squash and things. And we learned years ago that if you put them on a trellis, they don't spread out on the ground, they spread
Hmm.
up. And I
Up,
don't know if
yeah,
you can do that with flowers. I know you can with clematis and climbing roses, but beyond that, I don't think there's anything that.
yeah. Not a whole lot. I just use like I think it's called Nova netting. It's just a netting that helps support the plants.
Mhm.
They aren't flopping over everywhere. So I think that
Okay.
is something that really helped me with support instead of like tying every single plant up.
Do you have
And
any
it's
hint? Do you have any hints about keeping weeds down, or do you
oh,
care when it comes to flowers?
I've struggled with weeds this year. They just took off. But I think next year I'm just gonna get landscape fabric
Mhm.
and burn holes in to plant my stuff because the weeds are awful. I've
Uh-huh.
I've had a hard time keeping up.
Yeah, this summer's been fantastic for growing
Yes,
weeds and not fantastic for growing anything else.
yes, I know. I've had to
Ye
I've had to ditch some crops because the weeds took over too fast.
Mhm.
So that
Yeah,
was too bad, but
yeah, my
it's
husband
okay.
watered every single night from after we got through that major rain in end of May, 1st of June, I think it was.
Hmm.
I think that's right. He watered every single night for over an hour just to make
Yeah.
sure that we had, produce for the farmer's market
Hmm.
because otherwise there wouldn't have been anything.
Yeah, that was
It
me too. I was watering like crazy.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah,
I'm not sad to see this summer go at all.
I know.
I'm
Um,
really hoping that next year is better.
yeah, honestly, I'm just ready to pull everything at this point and start over for next year. I'll be planning for next year, but yeah,
Yep, like I said, it's an addiction.
it is an addiction.
If you start growing anything, I don't care if it's trees or flowers or produce or fruit or whatever, it becomes it becomes bigger than you.
Hmm. Yeah, it really does. Yeah, it's almost everything I make from my flowers I put back into it, so
Mhm.
it's quite an investment right now.
Um, do you dry any of the flowers for anything?
I haven't before, but I'm considering doing it this year because I have so many flowers that I can dry. So I might try because then I don't, I haven't really tried to sell them, so I don't know if there's a market for them. But yeah, I think it's
Th
something that
There's a market. Would you like to know what it is?
what?
Soap makers love
Oh, really?
dried flower petals to put over the
Oh,
top of their soaps.
interesting. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and we make soap, so I might be interested in
Okay,
buying some of your dried flowers.
yeah.
Yeah,
Is there certain
and,
kinds of flowers that soap makers like to like?
um, I know that with people who make lavender soap, they like to use the little blossoms that are dry to sprinkle
Hmm.
over the top of the soap as it cures. I know rose petals are a big deal.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not sure. I would assume that dahlias would be fine because their petals are a lot like rose petals.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, I think anything that is dryable and is small,
yeah,
fairly small, would work.
yeah. I have to do some experimenting on that.
Yeah, and candle makers also like to put flower petals in their candles when they pour them.
Hmm. Oh yeah,
So there's a market for it for sure.
yeah. That would be something that I could try this fall, winter.
Mhm. Yeah,
Give me something to
absolutely.
do.
Sure, because 'cause it'll be
Yeah,
Minnesota winter,
yeah,
and I hear from the Farmer's Almanac it's gonna be really cold and really snowy again.
yeah.
Surprise,
That's what
surprise.
I've heard also. Yeah.
So what are you going to school for? Because I'm assuming it's not horticulture.
No, it's I'm going to school for public accounting.
Okay.
Yeah, to get my business background.
I was gonna say, so you can do the books for your flower
Hmm.
farm.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Aw, fantastic. Well, you are the youngest person I've talked to so far doing anything like this.
That's awesome.
Yep.
My
I'm
pleasure.
my son is 21, my
Oh,
youngest,
really?
and yeah, and I told him I was talking to you today, and he says, "Well, is he like you guys' age?" Which is about 53, and I said, "No, he's actually more like your age." He said, "How did he get into flowers?" I said, "I don't know, I'm gonna ask him."
Yeah. Yeah. It's just I think I've just developed a passion for it, so that's why I love to do it, continue to do it.
Mhm,
Yeah, and I kind of drag my family into it in a sense, but I think I think they enjoy it. My dad likes to grow things. We have a big garden also.
mhm.
Yeah, so he's been a really big help.
Dads are always a big help. Dads are
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
Yes,
they are.
my dad is 80 and he's still just trucking along like he's
Hmm.
50. It's
Yeah,
amazing to me. Well, I don't think this is gonna be a very long interview because I don't really know what to ask you. Do you have anything else you would like to share? Maybe what has been the best thing about this new interest?
yeah. I think the best thing for me is there's a couple things. I would
Okay.
say like just the satisfaction of growing flowers for me, just from like starting a seed inside to seeing it bloom outside. I think that's really important to me to see my hard work become a vision or a success. Also, I feel like the people I've met and all the connections I made were really beneficial for me to interact with all my customers, to make the connection with my wholesaler and other growers. I thought, yeah, I really enjoy those connections.
Yeah, we were real thankful for the opportunity to sell at the farmers market because
Hmm.
we've actually met people finally after moving here 3 years
Yeah.
ago. Because moving during COVID, we didn't meet anybody because
Hmm.
one of the things you learn when you move to the country is that you don't just drive up someone's driveway and knock on their door.
Hmm. Yeah.
Number 1, it's inconsiderate, and number 2, you might get a less than stellar reaction.
Yeah.
So, we spent the first 2.5 years here very much on our own, and
Hmm.
that was fine. I'm not the most social butterfly of anyone I know, but after 2.5 years, I thought, "Boy, COVID's kind of eased up. Maybe it's time to do something to get to
Hmm.
know the people in our community." And farmers markets are fantastic for that.
Yeah, they really are. And just this past year, it's grown so much.
Oh,
I
I
think
hear it. I hear it's
yeah,
been terribly successful.
it really has. Yeah, because I did it last year too. And there
Mhm,
was probably, I want to say like maybe 6 or 7 vendors
mhm.
every week compared to like, I think it's like doubled. There's like almost 15, 16 vendors now.
Yeah, and it looks different than it did last year.
Hmm.
It looks so exciting and vibrant compared to last year.
Yeah. And I can even tell with like the people that come. I feel like we've gotten a larger crowd of people to come, some same, some new faces. So
Mhm,
yeah, it's been great to see all the different people come.
yeah. It's always good when a community is I don't know, working together and
Hmm.
enjoying it because when communities come together, it's usually when there's something wrong, and there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong. This is
Hmm.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right, well, I really, really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me because I know you are very busy.
Yes, thank you so much. I
Um,
appreciate you inviting me.
yeah, you have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
All right, bye.